All right. Hello, everyone. Excuse my super messy hair. Kind of see it's getting really puffy. It's because I didn't put any product in it or anything after taking a shower earlier today. So it kind of just puffs out when I don't put anything in it. Anyways, um, what do I want to talk about today? I didn't really have one particular topic in mind, but I do want to kind of give a life update and talk about what I've been going through and how I overcame it. And there will be kind of a lesson in it as well, mainly for myself and for anyone else who's kind of going through something similar. Two things, actually. I have two things that I can talk about. The first one is going to be kind of an extension off of a other video, but it's kind of basically swapping between different hobbies and different concentrations or different things that I need to focus on. So specifically for me, I have school and I'm juggling also my business that I'm trying to work on, my website that I'm working on, trying to make courses, stuff like that, and make sure everything's working. And basically, I completely forgot about one to do the other. That was kind of what I did. Now, my issue was basically getting back into the one that I had put aside because I was so locked into one moment. And I don't know if I'm incapable of this. I don't know if I'm incapable of swapping kind of day to day between these two things in an easy way. If I'm locked in on it, because it doesn't really seem like I'm able to. Not easily, at least, because at the moment I take a couple days to really get back into it. I've started to work back on my website and my projects that relate to that. And the way I was able to do it was somewhat interesting because it wasn't motivation per se. Now, I think there's a distinct difference between motivation of kind of energy and motivation of why are you doing that thing. So let me kind of explain what I mean by that. What the way I was able to get back into working on my website and my projects was motivation. It was to look at the motivation behind why I was working on it. Now, that's a little different between having motivation for a little bit of time. You're motivated after watching some cool video and some words of whatever, and having motivation behind something. I hope that makes sense. Um, Now, to kind of describe that a bit more, what I mean by that for me is my motivation behind making the website and making this new brand of thing, Coding Quest. I have a couple reasons, and I'll list a few. There's a few that are personal, but I'll list a few. One is money. We all love money. Um, I do want to have this as my full time gig. I would love to do that. I do want to work a company. We'll see. But I would love to also do this full time. I would love to scale it up to a full time business where I can just work on this and it becomes my full time business. That's one motivation. Another is I believe in what is being built. Now, it's kind of hard sometimes because what I'm building now isn't what I envision completely. Sometimes I'm not happy with the way it is or whatever. And sometimes I don't have the energy and time to change it. So I have to kind of just stick with it, even though I don't like it. So the motivation there kind of dwindles. But I do still believe in the overall, not message per se, but the overall vision of what I'm building. So when I have that motivation behind what I'm doing, it's a little easy to think about that. Like this morning, I was thinking, how can I be sitting around when I know other people are working hard for their money and for like their family, etc. And I'm just sitting here not doing any of that. So yeah, that's something that kind of helped me get back into it. Um, Now, another thing I'll talk about in this video, very briefly, because it is 1 a.m. at the moment, and I do need to go to sleep. Uh, a little bit of friendship stuff. I'm gonna talk about loneliness. The loneliness of being alone. That's what loneliness is. I think being alone doesn't necessarily mean you are lonely. Now, being around people also doesn't necessarily mean you're not lonely. And it's interesting for me because I'm in a concentration of school that's very, very introverted, and most people don't aren't very social and they don't talk. And you might even see in a little bit of me that I don't talk as often to people. And if you ever see me in person, which I know a couple of you have, and I've had a few people recognize me on the street, so it's kind of neat. You might see that I'm just not as outgoing, at least as I used to be. There's a reason for that. When I was in high school, I used to be very outgoing. Growing up in general, actually, I was very outgoing, and I would talk to people a lot. I liked making friends with everyone, and I would, in a sense, like this was my high school. I would like during lunchtime and whatever, I would pretty much not sit down and do something because one, I didn't eat during lunch. I didn't have a lunch, uh, mostly out of my own choice, and two, what was I saying? Not two. What I would do is I would basically take myself and walk around the entire school. And I would talk to as many people as I could. Like I would talk to people that I recognized in the hallways and stuff, and I would just try to chat with people, like short conversations, just say, "Hey, how are you? How's life? Whatever, blah blah blah," and kind of move on. And basically, surface level conversation. And I liked that for a bit. It was nice because I knew everyone. Everyone knew me. That was like one of the things in high school is everyone knew of me, but no one knew me. No one really knew who I was. They knew of me and they knew my name, but no one really knew me. I didn't really have that many close friends. I had one close friend, but he wasn't even in my school. And he's still my friend today. So, he's like my closest friend, my best friend. And we've been friends for over a decade now. So, you know, it's, goes to show you never know what will last and what won't. But my point is, and I get to the point because I do want to go to sleep. You can talk to a lot of people and still be lonely. Because at this time, I was very lonely. And I quickly realized a few years into university that talking with people and having that surface level conversation for me is so mundane and irrelevant and doesn't mean anything to me. So I stopped. I stopped completely. Now, is that a good solution? Maybe not. Realistically, no. It's not a good solution to stop completely because those surface level conversations are where relationships get built, right? Those are where things happen. So you can't just cut it out completely. Of course not. However, I got sick of it for a while and I still kind of am at the moment, but it allowed me to build this skill of being alone and not being lonely as much. Don't get me wrong. I am lonely sometimes. Right now, actually, as I record this video, I'm kind of exiting this phase as I say this, but I am in a lonely spot in my life. Um, I have my close friend group, which we don't actually talk that often, but so I have friends. But aside from that, I pretty much have no friends. I have some like colleagues, as you might call them, people that I know, people that I can talk to, whatever. But I pretty much don't have like a friend group that you might say, right? Like a lot of people say, I have a friend group and you hang out with those people. I don't have that. I I did it intentionally as well. Don't get me wrong. Don't be like, I don't want you to pity me. I don't want you to be like, oh, this is so sad. Like, oh, maybe I'll be his friend. No, I did it intentionally. I intentionally don't like to be in these friend groups because Not because these friendships are bad or per se or anything like that. It's because I'm able to recognize that these friendships aren't going to last. A lot of people, especially in university that you might meet, the friendships aren't going to last. And a lot of people know this. And it's kind of, I don't understand it. From my perspective, I really don't understand how people can enter a friendship knowing that they're not going to want to be friends later down the line. You're building that friendship over the years and then boom, nothing. So I don't get it, but I can recognize when someone is kind of like that. So I kind of back away and I don't want to be friends. So I just don't go through that anymore. Uh, I'm not that old. I'm 25, but I feel like I'm too old for that now. I feel like I'm too old to just go through the motion of finding a friend group, leaving, finding another friend group, leaving, finding another friend group, leaving. Like it's a little too much. So I prefer to be alone, prefer to do my own thing, prefer to build my skills, build myself as a person and do the things that I enjoy. Now, does that mean I wouldn't like someone to do those things with and enjoy those things that I enjoy with? Of course not. I would love to do that. But it is incredibly rare and hard and difficult to find those people that will actually not just share those moments with you because of course it's easy to find someone to share a moment with you, but it's hard to find someone that you'll share this moment with and you're going to cherish that memory as much as they cherish the memory. And that is where it's incredibly difficult. Not a lot of people have that. You're not able to easily find people who are able to cherish these memories and moments with you as much as you might cherish that moment. So at the moment, that's kind of my life. There's a couple lessons in there I kind of threw in, but in general, that is my life. I pretty happy at the moment. I'm actually at peace. I think that's the best saying. And my hair is really puffy, especially on this side. You can really see it. Like, yeah, we'll see. I want to keep growing my hair out. So, yeah, I'm looking like Einstein a little bit. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.